Welcome back, everyone, to the Parramatta Stadium, where a tremendous atmosphere is building here for this sudden death playoff for the semi-finals on Saturday. Good crowd building up as well, both inside and out, mind you. There's Joe Thomas. Leads this Western Suburbs side down the tunnel, hoping to put the cream on what has been a tremendous season for a club. Rebuilding. One of the most famous clubs in rugby league history. Tonight they get a chance at semi-final action with a win over the Bulldogs. Andrew Farah goes up against his old club Canterbury, as does Joe Thomas and David Gillespie and Paul Langmack. And Langmack only just back into Winfield Cup action over the last fortnight. And Taylor will line up against a terrific halves combination from Canterbury and Lamb and Moore. And the Bulldogs walk out very slowly, just soaking up the atmosphere. The last man out, Ewan McGrady, the quickest man in their lineup, and the man that Western Suburbs will have to watch closely. They will also have to keep their eyes on this man, Terry Lamb. He goes up against a club where he started too. He's up against the Magpies. A local product from Canterbury, but he did start in the black and white. Bill Harrigan in charge of this sudden death. We were talking about the crowd inside and out. It is a great shame that we are set for a kick-off with thousands still outside the ground. It appears that not enough ticket sellers were manned at the gates, and that is just but one of the turnstiles where they are lined very deep. In round 14, it was a victory to West this year over Canterbury, 15-6. And in for and against, Canterbury have the best attack, whilst Western Suburbs the best defence. Just what will win this sudden death tonight? Will it be the laying on of tries or the stopping of four-pointers? Harrigan gets us underway. Down it comes for Gillies. They're tipping a fiery start between the two packs of forwards. Brogan chimes straight in and heaven.
If that's the case, the right man's got the whistle.
Maguire leading the way, the experienced test man in this Canterbury lineup. McGrady with the kick, puts it in. Gets it away from Devine, and a good chase from Canterbury. He's taken first up by Terry Lamb. Out it comes for Burns. And Western Suburbs are 40 metres out from their own line. Darren Brent, who was cleared of x-rays for this game, checking on some cheekbone damage. Thomas staying on a short side for Farah to drive it low towards the sideline. McGrady there on the angle, he leaves it alone. Already showing both teams keen to get it down the other end.
That's the way you play semi-final football, but West settled immediately into their pattern. They belted it up through the forwards, then Andrew Farah put a good kick on the end of it.
Both sides sweating on the mistakes in this desperate sort of play. Graham Wynn had broken well and truly from the scrum before the ball came out. Harrigan warned him. Red gets the ball back to Gillies, who slips.
There's no doubt, Graham, that West will try and play this game very tight. They'll play to their strength in the forwards. They'll get their backs in doing a lot of the hard yakka. On the other side, Canterbury will try and move the ball around. If you're going to have success against the Magpies, and Brisbane showed it, and Canberra showed it, it's through ball movement.
Great defence from the Magpies. McGrady, not so much pressure on him with this kick. Devine running back towards his own line. Heads towards the sideline, now brings Burns inside. Perfect conditions, Wayne, and a real sultry night here at the stadium.
Yeah, beautiful conditions at ground level. The surface of the ground is very hard, very fast, and the crowd is, the people still trying to file into this ground. It is a shame, but nevertheless, a big crowd building up, I would say, well in excess of 7,000 or 8,000, 9,000 people.
I think we might have to double that.
By the time everybody gets in, I think we will.
Well and truly, Thomas. Western Suburbs with the first chance down, in possession at a 22. Taylor bombing away. Canterbury go up for it. Ryan takes it clearly. Darren Smith coming in from the centres to do work and a good run towards the 22.
We can expect plenty of pressure to be put on Ewan McGrady with these bombs. I know that Ryan feels that McGrady is a weakness at fullback under the high bomb, so I'm sure whenever West get into an attacking situation, that's the pattern they'll adopt.
Maguire, already he's taken the ball up 3 times in the opening minutes. McGrady calling quickly for the kick. Canterbury showing their hand. They want to get out of here again. Devine allowing this one to roll around. Heading it towards Folks, trying to get on the inside of him. Taylor to Farah. Farah gets it back on the inside. And West with the first clean break to Simons. The roll on the ball's forward to Langmack, but it's a penalty against Canterbury. Hands in the ruck. It looked to be the rule from Harrigan. And it was Steve Folkes trying to put a backhander on to the play of the ball from Simons. And a very quick play of the ball and a good roll on for West.
That's the Western Suburbs pattern. They use their backs to come in early on the tackle count. They take it to you in the forwards, and then they get their big men to take over in the middle of the tackle count. An uncharacteristic break there against Canterbury, but at the centre of the ruck. Their markers weren't quite working.
Wonderful opportunity for the Magpies. Taylor. Farah. Taken by Folkes. He gets plenty of assistance. Jackson. Right on the charge now. 8 metres away from the Canterbury line. Working it away through the forwards. Thomas running out of support. Right in front of the post. Langmack trying to get it wider. He's forced back to the middle as the defence moved up too quickly. 5 minutes gone in the sudden death. Play-off for the semis. Good support by Linton. Only a metre from the line. Last tackle. Desperate defence from Canterbury. West throwing everything at the line. Short blindside Burns. Difficult ball thrown at his ankles from Thomas. Knock on and a handover. But they had Canterbury stretched to the limit.
There was never much of a chance down that short side because Burns never had the room to work in. But if you're looking at the early exchanges, West's on top so far.
0-0. The Magpies and the Bulldogs fighting for their lives at the Parramatta Stadium. Again, it's Maguire to play it for the Bulldogs. No support runner for Peets. McGrady, another kick from him. Harassed by Cogger. This one will fall straight for Devine and in a good position already in Canterbury territory. He goes back to Simons. Cover defending tackle from Gillies. Now he's in touch, but that'll be a penalty. They roll him over. Terry Lamb has plenty to say. Simons was chased by Gillies. Lamb was coming across. They rolled him over. Well, the touch judge was showing that he was still in play there.
West's on top by virtue of the fact they're getting field position, and this is the way they like to play it. They'll just keep grinding away from here.
Canterbury keen to kick back to them, but they're not getting any position at all with those kicks.
Have a look at the way they play this, Graeme. It's just relentless.
Darren Brett throws himself at the line. Right in front of the posts. Setting either side. Taylor switching. Langmack. Taken in a beautiful tackle by Wren. Quickly from Thomas. Taylor on the inside with support, but it comes clear. Picked up by Kevin Moore. Canterbury's defence equal to the occasion.
We've got to give credit where credit's due, and even though West kept hammering away, Canterbury hung on, and I thought they read the two big plays very well. Now here's one of them, the inside pass by Taylor. They were alert to that. Maguire knocked him off.
Canterbury survived once more, bringing it away through Brokenshire. So much interest in this game because it is sudden death. How does Footy Tap see it, Johnny Croucher?
Graeme, there sure is plenty of interest. The big $62,000 in the dividend pool. They see Canterbury slight favourites, Graeme. 52% for them, 43% for North, and a lot of support for a field goal. The computer slightly favours Canterbury too. 12-16 for them, 8-12 for the Magpies.
Thanks, John Cogger. Last week broke the Western Suburbs try-scoring record held by Peter Diamond, posting 84 tries. What a service he's been for the black and white.
He's one of the two survivors left from Lidcombe Oval, Doug Rawlins and he.
Lidden. West looking good as they move it around, but a stray ball. Jonathan Davis tries to get to it. Last tackle. He didn't get a boot to it. Thomas gets the kick in, but it'll open field. Here's a chance for Darren Smith. Staying outside. Good cover from Taylor. They had to get over there quickly. That was a problem.
In the centre of the universe in the game of rugby league's the ball, and this is what Canterbury haven't had for a while.
Canterbury's first chance in the Western Suburbs half with possession. Moore cutting it out to Lamb. McGrady, they've got a number over here. McGrady, they let him run. He gets a beautiful ball to Davis. Davis stepping. Still going, caught from behind by Gillespie. Thrilling play from one end to the other now as Folks clears it. That looks forward to Brokenshire. Right in front of the post. Lamb looking for extra men. Reardon trapped with it. Gets it back. Kevin Moore. He gets a great ball to Gillies. Gillies gets it to Peets. Exciting stuff. Couple of metres away from the West line. Paddling.
It's got to be in the sin bin.
10 minutes against Joe Thomas for a professional foul. The younger man lining up against him tonight, Geordie Peets, giving him a tap on the head to say thank you for what they might think is 2 points. They were under a lot of pressure, and Thomas tried to slow them down.
They were under more than a lot of pressure. They were on the rack. Canterbury show with a little bit of ball what they can do. Now the experience of Thomas took over. He just pulled his leg, hoped to get away with it and maybe just get the penalty incurred, but the 10 minutes is going to cost them dearly.
And there's also going to be a chat for Langmack, I think. Touch judge in to call him over.
That could have been the later tackle. When after McGrady kicked the ball, there was a late tackle. It looked like Langmack was involved in it, and then a lot of things happened and the touch judge held back. I think he just came on to give a report on it.
So Canterbury, after soaking up all the pressure at the other end, come back.
The reason they got down this end of the field, Graeme, was because of an incisive run from Ewan McGrady. He's without doubt the most dangerous player on this paddock.
Looking very confident as he chews away at a nice piece of gum. Jonathan Davis, one of Canterbury's best in that remarkable comeback from the dead against Cronulla on Sunday to get them to here, the Parramatta Stadium. 33 from 51 this year for Davis, 64.71%. The chance at first points. Davis puts it down the middle. The Bulldogs put their nose in front. It is 2-0 over West. The Parramatta Stadium. Now MMI big game, this playoff for 5th position on Saturday between West and Canterbury. The Bulldogs just after about 11 minutes of play. Unbelievably, Bill Harrigan has got the Western Suburbs players for being in front of the kicker. It has been something we've talked about a number of times right throughout this season. Just out of shot. There they are, in fact, getting a good 2 and 3 metres head start.
Jumped the starting gun and paying for it.
Now they're down to 12. This is a big problem. Canterbury should be able to work away with 6. They had them stretched only a few minutes ago.
That's the thing that stood out, was Canterbury didn't have much ball, but as soon as they got some, they were able to work Western Suburbs around the paddock and outmanoeuvre them.
Gillies. Canterbury continuing to use a lot of decoy runners. Peets wrapped up by Langmack. Maguire getting wide off Kevin Moore. Loses the ball. The heat comes off. Disappointment shows on the face of Maguire as Canterbury were starting to build. Donna Moore, the daughter of Peter Moore, watching on tonight. Had to go under an operation in hospital today. She would have loved to have been here. The club had sent their best wishes to her. Tonight as she looks on. The Bulldogs trying to get through. Now a mistake from Western Suburbs. Gillies allowed to run as the defence just stood back. Darren Smith from dummy half up the middle. Bounces from one. Looking to get the ball back. He's thrown to ground by Cogger. 15 metres out from the west line. Canterbury line deep. Maguire back to Kevin Moore. Quickly to Lamb. Lamb to McGrady. He stays to the outside to Ryan. Ryan gets it to McGrady. Looking as though it came off a West hand. But Dolan couldn't pick up the dregs there. Dolan tried to pick it up. He got finished off by Wynn without the ball. In front of the touch judge, that might have been called for a penalty. Jackson across the paddock as the Magpies start digging deep with only 12. Thomas is in the bin. 2-0 to Canterbury. Farron slipping, trying to take some of the workload off the forwards. Wynn still inside their 22. Taylor with the kick. Down to McGrady. Gets a bad bounce.
And now it's Canterbury's turn to enjoy a little bit of field position and some more possession.
Taken beautifully by Cogger. Still 5 minutes remain for Thomas in the bin. Ryan. "37 metres from their line as Reid nearly gets through the line. Gillespie slipped as he tried to make the tackle. Lamb drives it deep. On the chase is Darren Smith, putting some pressure to Devine. He gets there and then beats him. But taken by Lamb. West go back inside their 10 metres. Simons is put down. Burns. Westbury bunched as they're looking for some runners. Farrow once more. Canterbury starting to lift, thinking they've got a great chance with Thomas still spending time in that bin. Last tackle against the Magpies. Taylor with a lot of time to get the kick in. And a good one over the head of McGrady. Bounces back to the infield.
This will want to be a good chase. He's got plenty of space to work in.
McGrady too much space for Farrell.
And it wasn't a good chase.
Doolan. Counting the time, the Magpies, till they go back to 13 men. Maguire hasn't stopped looking for work since the start. He's been everywhere. Moore. Lamb. The run around with Moore. To Darren Smith. To Ryan down the sideline. Taken in a beautiful tackle and a desperate tackle. He was gone down to the fullback and he had support on the inside looming.
And that support was in the form of Terry Lamb. Let's have a look at it here now. That is a vital tackle because Smith was back on the inside. Lamb was inside of him. I dare say they'd have scored.
Could have been a 4-point save there and then.
Graham, they're really catching them out on the edges of the field, aren't they? The West defence just isn't coming up as quick as Warren Ryan would have hoped.
It's been surprising some of the space that they've showed McGrady already.
Well, you know that he's going to do it, but knowing it and stopping it are two different things.
Brett. Canterbury holding in defence. Taylor switching it for Jackson. It will be excellent play by the Magpies to see that no more points are posted till Thomas returns. Quick play the ball on the last. Farah Keeping it low to the corner, to the pockets, but it sits up nicely for Matthew Ryan. He gets to the outside of Taylor. They're being beaten for pace at the moment.
2 weeks ago, Canberra did it. Last week, Brisbane did it. They're showing that Western Suburbs are susceptible if you can get the ball out to the sidelines.
Moore uses up Maguire. Now Maguire will be penalised for the use of a forearm. Jackson clutching at his chest. Now he seems to clutch at a shoulder. Whether or not that's where it started, it's going to be a line ball call on that one because it appeared to start around the chest area.
I thought it started there and stayed there.
It appeared that way even though he clutched at it.
Now, let's have a look at it here. Maguire spins, pivots, hits him on the chest. Might have gone up a little bit higher than that. I don't think it was all that bad. Now, Bill Harrigan's called the 2 touch judges in, which indicates that it's going to go on his report. He's going to let it rest here and give the penalty, but he'll leave him on the field.
Well, on that replay, you would think it would rest there full stop. There's no doubt it travelled up, but it started at the man's chest.
Must be great to be a Bulldog, Graeme.
Well, I think that's the way you call it.
I did.
Taylor will have this one midfield.
And it gives Taylor the chance to equalise in a pretty good position.
Jackson still not happy with the trainer. Let's remember that these players are backing up from only playing on Saturday and Sunday. Thomas dying to get back out there. Less than 30 seconds remain for him. Jason Taylor, 73 from 96 this season, and a percentage of 76.04. All season long in the Winfield Cup, we have been blessed by some outstanding goal-kicking performances. Pressure goal, even though he looks to be in front of the post to level things up. He nails it. We're back to where we started the game. It is all level in the sudden death playoff. 2-0 Western Canterbury from the Parramatta Stadium in this sudden death. Joe Thomas, the West skipper, gets back out there after 10 minutes in the bin.
And no damage done.
Even the mascots are set for battle. 2-on-1. Seems fair.
Is the Bulldog fair go?
Farah strongly. How do you see it so far, Wayne?
Well, Western Suburbs really needed to start this match with the blaze of glory, and they did for the first 10 minutes, but they slackened off because they dropped off their intensity around the rucks, and that also coincided with Joey Thomas off the field. Now he's back on there. I'm sure they'll get back to their game plan, which is strong forward play around the rucks.
Langmack plays it just outside the 22. Last tackle. Taylor. The chase has not been good on McGrady.
They're going to get another go at it.
It seems a broken line again. And he gets through. They're just not keeping a straight line, and they're not there in enough numbers. Kevin Moore.
If they're not confident about kicking down to McGrady receiving it, then they should be kicking for sideline. That's the only way to get around it if they haven't got a confident chasing game.
Wayne, I think they've got to mix their kicking game up. I don't think he's anywhere near as good if you kick short and make him come up to the ball.
Lamb kicks to the in goal. He saw that Devine has to make a bit of a run. Lamb still chasing on him. He forces it. Canterbury will get it back. Clever thinking from Terry Lamb.
In spite of the fact he's got a groin injury, Lamb always seems to be the first man there on chase. Now, Devine didn't get a good bounce there. It was bobbling around, so he decided just to ground the ball in goal and then restart with a line dropout.
Good dropout from Taylor to Ryan. Little give and take, as you would expect.
there's enough resting on it. You hang up the boots for the season if you bow out.
Gillies. Maguire to the inside of Kevin Moore. Boats gets it. Moore again, probably using his forwards, making sure that they work away at the fringe of the rucks. This time it's the back line. Smith. Strong fend on Trevor Cogger. Last tackle. Lamb looking to put the pressure on the kick. Big bomb coming down in front of the West Post. They climb for it. It falls back for Devine to pick up. Burns to Farron. He's had to do some of the work for the forwards. And only a moment ago he was down with the trainer. He was grabbing at a knee.
The man that they miss in this situation too is the man who, excuse me, who's out injured with a torn or step damaged knee is Tony Casado. He does an enormous amount of work in this situation, and they'll be desperately keen to get him back on the paddock.
Good break from Thomas. The winner of this one, of course, will continue on Saturday to line up against Canberra in the minor preliminary semi-final. All the action this Saturday, 6:30 to 8:30, the match in full. And of course, Sunday, Manly and Norths. The winner with the right to go on and meet the minor premiers, Penrith, again 6:30 to 8:30. Doolan off his wing, hit over the top. Now the crowd was calling for it, and the touch judge had waited maybe to see if Harrigan was going to act. Swinging out over the top. Doolan apparently showing that it hadn't missed.
Here it is, Doolan taking the ball up. Joey Thomas over the top, clips him on the chin and finished him off.
It's interesting to see if a touch judge stays in to see if this one gets reported any further. You would have to probably argue that that looked worse than the Maguire incident.
Well, there wasn't much in that one either. I thought he did go high and he clipped him on the chin, and that's one of those spots where if you just get the hit in the wrong spot, it can put you out there. And he is.
You can only argue where you're supposed to tackle, and he's not there. That is high.
He actually just spat out some blood, so I don't think he's as healthy as you might suggest, Bill.
I think the replay said quite a lot. Penalty will come for Canterbury Bankstown.
Well, he's up. I don't think he's going to be scarred for life.
Davis to look for the sideline. Waiting for something to give. Locked together to all. Lamb to Rid to Smith. Smith a handful as he gets it back to Lamb. Now to Folks. McGrady links up. McGrady looking for Davis. Davis gets through. He's got support. He kicks. He had men inside. I don't know if he heard a call. Kevin Moore. Who got there? The ball was forced. What a great rescue by Joe Thomas. What a great rescue. Kevin Moore is saying to Jonathan Davis, you should have given it to us on the inside.
You've got to remember that Thomas is a hooker. Now look, he's made amazing ground to come back and get his hands to that. Super football there from Joey Thomas to come across and tidy up.
Even after all of that, thank God for an in-goal judge.
And he didn't hesitate, did he? He came straight in and got Bill Harrigan's attention and ruled on it.
Harrigan was quick to check with the in-goal man. It was touch and go, but great performance from Thomas. The ball was breaking back towards Kevin Moore. He saved his side.
But Wests have learned what they've got to do. They're going to have to keep crowding Canterbury for the full 80 minutes. As soon as Canterbury stretch them, they're around them.
Smith. Problems in the back line for the Magpies.
Connor and Farah there to do a defensive job, but with this big 5 metres that Bill Harrigan's keeping, Canterbury are still able to stretch the ball.
Lamb, that's where they go now. The kick for the outside backs. Simon's tapping it towards the sideline. over the sideline and a Canterbury Bankstown feed. The most important scrum of the game so far coming up.
Canterbury keeping the pressure on. This time they varied the tactics with a little kick over the top. Knocked back by West. McGrady there to make the tackle.
The West backs right on their own goal line. The scrum collapses. Canterbury penalty. The ball would most probably have come their way anyway. Now they get a chance for the tap restart.
And this is one of those circumstances, Graeme, if you've got a pet move, you put it on now.
Harrigan signalling to the Western Suburbs back line out in front of the posts. Kevin Moore behind the line looking for support. Desperate tackling. Land throws a dummy. Folks shows it. This is what it's all about. Backs to the wall. The Magpies hanging on. Gillies looked to be facing the sideline as he played that ball. They've sent Canterbury down to the last tackle. Lamb, first receiver, looking for the kick. Across, out wide, they needed to break back, but it's too strong. They keep on working with the kicks in behind the three quarters. But that is good defence from West. Jackson with a restart and sent backwards. Driving defence. Thomas gets it to Farah. 2-2 Western Canterbury.
West have got to get the ball up the other end. It's highly unlikely they'll score a long-range try.
Burns slipping. Down to the last 10 minutes of this first half. West coming back now. Canterbury have enjoyed the territorial advantage. Ball looked forward to Britt. Now, it comes behind the support play. Taylor. Gillespie from dummy half, no extra support. Now there is from Thomas. Thomas to Taylor. Canterbury looking to shut them down, keep them in close. Farah, quick thinking. The low drive for the sideline is an excellent kick. Excellent passage too for Western Suburbs to bring it so far.
This kick's going to get Western Suburbs where they need to be, but it's a matter of them keeping the Bulldogs there.
To all those semi-final sides looking on, as well as the minor premiers. Good luck to you all on the weekend. And this big series coming up. And no doubt Canberra enjoying these two sides going round, Bill.
Well, Canberra, I think, have done it pretty tough themselves over the last few weeks, and they're going to appreciate that extra bit of rest. But I've learned over the last couple of years, Graeme, that you don't predict anything. You don't think that because a team's had to come through a playoff that it's impossible.
Devine chasing this to the sideline. Canterbury return the favour. Western Canterbury locked together. Sudden death at 2-2. It is a tough playoff for fifth spot between the Magpies and the Bulldogs on our MMI big game from the Parramatta Stadium.
How about these for stats? It's 2-2. They finished on the same points in the premiership. And since this premiership, I'll come back to it, Graeme.
Simons with a great run! Corners away! Red can't get him! Here comes Doolan! Doolan saves the situation. Davis tries to hold him down. West with great numbers. Lamb will be in the mid. Lamb will now get 10 minutes. It is captain for captain. Trying to slow it right down.
He knows exactly what he's doing. Saved a certain try here, Terry Lamb. Came in from behind. Now, he knew it was going to be 4 points. He also knew the result it was going to be a sin bin, but he had to do it.
Well, I must admit, if players are going to do it, Bill, I would like to see not just a 10-minute sin bin offence, maybe even from the Players Association some sports around the world, big fines should finish on this because it is not in anyone's interest that is watching the game of rugby league.
Well, I don't know if a big fine's the answer because the club would pay it anyhow, but there's got to be some other recourse. But Terry Lamb knew what he do, and he had to do, and he had to do it. As a coach, I'd applaud.
Well, I don't think 10 minutes is long enough. I think they should be sin bin, but I think a 20-minute period would be much more appropriate.
Taylor. Terrific crowd here now that they've all finally got inside this Parramatta Stadium. Successful with his only attempt, Taylor. The Magpies trying to stick their beak in front. They do. West. They get it now to 4-2. Still shaking his head, the Bulldog, at the loss of the skipper. The Magpies happy now that they've handled some pressure and got back in front. You were talking about how tight it is between these two clubs before that break.
I was going to say it couldn't be any more even. They've played 111 times in premiership football, 52 wins each and 7 draws. Finished even this year, and it was 2-all. But I'm a trivia buff.
And now there's only 2 in right here. Farron. Canterbury seem to have the advantage now. West starting to grow some. Thomas screaming at Harrigan for a penalty. Gillespie. Last tackle, Kevin Moore rushes. Canterbury had 4 markers. Tried to give themselves up and put their hands in the air. McGrady. This time he's taken positively.
I would say the message has been sent out.
Doolin wrapped up smartly. Kevin Moore showing it, trying to find a gap on the fringe. Maguire. Certainly a sensational buy for Canterbury this year. Folks looking to stretch it. Gets it back to Kevin Moore. It is difficult to find a hole. Quick hands. Darren Smith to Ryan. Ducks under one high tackle. Looking to go up the middle. Now trying to link with support. He's going sideways. 40 out from their own line. He grabs it. He's back. Harrigan calls for someone else to play it.
And this is the reason why you can see he's tackled and put down there, but as he hits the ground, another tackle comes in over the top just to stop his progress.
Harrigan gives the Bulldogs a penalty right on halfway. And he's still down, Ryan.
Graeme, I had a look at the tape of their second half against Cronulla on the weekend, and they had a magic 20 minutes. You know, in a season, or every couple of seasons, everything goes right for you for 20 minutes at some stage, and everything sticks. They had one of those. It had to be seen to be believed.
Down 16-0, and they still got home, and that was just after half-time. Not so easy here. Everything has to be earned, well and truly. Kevin Moore, nearly square overall, the possession. And just about the same in the opposition half as Maguire steps, taken low by Langmack. Davis, away from one, trying to get it wide. He's going to lose territory.
Well, there's no one out there because Ryan's still down, so the Dogs are down to 11 men.
They've called for a stretcher for Ryan. And Smith looks for the sideline and finds it inches away from the corner post.
Did Didn't Ryan have a back injury earlier in the year, and that was what put him out for a long time?
Not quite so sure.
I think it was.
But both trainers out with him now. Canterbury for a moment down to 12, no fullback. No one at home. McGrady goes out to a wing spot. Ledden.
And in this danger period just before half-time, Graeme, Tony Rampling is about to go on for Graham Wynn to bolster their defence. And we're also seeing a change at the moment. Number 17 going on for Canterbury, which is Andrew Patmore.
So McGrady back to fullback and Patmore out to that wing spot, which was vacant still as Simons found some space. Over the sideline, penalty. Harrigan gets Darren Smith for throwing a man over the sideline. That was an interesting call. Simons was down that sideline. Smith coming across. Difficult to call that one a penalty, I think.
Well, his momentum carried him into the player who had hold of the ball, and he continued with him over the sideline. It would have been difficult to stop him in his tracks.
Langmack, as the Magpies go wide to Farragut, standing. Finished off over the top by Gillies.
That's about the extent of the Magpies' attack. What they'll do is use those second-man plays, block plays, where they'll cut out runners, but they'll only do that when they've got you on the back pedal.
They're playing strongly before the break, looking for a try, and a vital one. Taylor gets it. Darren Smith grabs the intercept. Finished off as he tried to get up by Langmack. To Patmore. Kevin Moore. Canterbury with a break. Kick ahead. McGrady chasing. The ball bouncing towards Burns, though. If the kick hadn't gone straight, West were in real trouble.
You can put that down to the shape of a rugby league ball. A good bounce there. McGrady scores.
Farron. A number of hit-ups he's made in the 22 for the pack.
The last couple of minutes tells you just about everything. Western Suburbs sticking to their pattern, playing program football but doing it very well. As soon as Canterbury get the ball, the individual brilliance takes over.
Inside the last 60 seconds. Plenty of drama already in this one. Thomas.
How's the voice?
The flow is starting to clear, thankfully, as the semi-finals come round. Now McGrady has a chase. Every time he touches, you think he's just about going to get through.
You expect something to happen, and they're the sorts of players we all like to watch.
Patmore will finish up with it. And this match that was sent to sudden death here tonight at the Parramatta Stadium, everybody was tipping it to be close. Everybody is right so far. We're still waiting for somebody to really break the ice. There have been some chances at either ends for both sides. It is 4-2 to the Magpies. We'll take a break. Back with more right after this. The moon is full, and it is shining brightly. But shining for who here at the Parramatta Stadium in this sudden death? Playoff for fifth spot in the Winfield Cup of 91. So far it is West, but only just 4-2 over Canterbury. Good crowd in. For all the drama here, as Joe Thomas brings back the Magpies. And they have got some tremendous support here. It has been great to be able to travel out to Campbelltown this year. Some of the marvellous crowds they've had out there, especially for some of our Friday nighters, our Nissan Friday night matches.
The club champions have had a big year.
Yeah, congratulations to them. They're still threatening to do a lot more damage. They just await the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Their skipper, Terry Lamb, still has 1.5 minutes left in the bin from the restart of play. Talking about crowds, Canterbury on Sunday enjoyed one of their biggest for a number of seasons. They wanted to send an appreciation to the man from Tuiui, John Morris, who helped support the club over the weekend and, of course, support the game of rugby league for this match tonight. I know he'll be watching. Great work to get behind this season that has already been a magnificent one.
But for someone, it all comes to an end here.
Someone kisses the Winfield Cup goodbye tonight. The Moree magician is back out on the paddock, and he has shown a bit of magic in the first half. They will need a lot more. In the first half, Canterbury made 72 tackles. Britt with a dozen, Jackson 10, Canterbury 78. Gillies working overtime with 16. Brokenshire 3 behind him. Britt with 10 hit-ups for the Magpies. Maguire with 10. He must have made those, I think, in about the first 20 minutes. He was everywhere. Davis setting the ball up for the restart. Do we wonder if there is only 40 minutes left for one of these sides? It is so close we would probably think about extra time even. Farrell loses it. The Magpies will have a line drop out. I don't know why it is, but in big end of season matches there are so many things that seem to happen all over the place, even from restarts.
What a way to start. Andrew Farrer there indicated that he thought the ball might have been going to hit the post, so he turned his head quickly and he lost it totally.
Canterbury would not have believed this. They will have possession to start the second half. If we do have extra time, of course, it'll be 10 minutes each way here.
Graeme, playoff football, 40 minutes goes just so quickly. This is like a sprint. You get your nose in front and you stay there.
The Magpies have theirs in front. Gillies plays it. 32 out. Patmore trying to break the line. Moore to folks on the inside. He finishes up right on the 22 and right in midfield. Brokenshire. Kevin Moore had to climb high to pull the ball down. Darren Smith on the inside of McGrady. Good defence from West. They had to get into top gear right from the start of the second half after that restart. Farrer makes up for it, plucking it out of mid-air to take the catch from the kick from Moore. Jackson brings it away. Moore was trying to look behind the defence for the backs.
The idea was a good one. The execution wasn't there.
West finally get the possession that they expected from the restart. The handling errors going against Western Suburbs so far. Taylor. The ball was touched, but on the first bounce to McGrady. Billy got to the outside again. Terry Lamb gets back out there from the bin. Doolan takes it up on halfway. Wayne, what was said at halftime?
Well, Chris Anderson was relatively cool, actually. He asked his team to weather the storm until Terry Lamb got out there, and he just has. And he feels the opportunities will come as the Western Suburbs players continue to tire. He also pointed out to me that Ryan has suspected broken ribs. And on the other side, Warren Ryan, that was Matthew Ryan, but Warren Ryan pointed out to his side that the defence out wide was very lazy, and that was giving Canterbury far too much room to move. He also pointed out that Jason Taylor's kicks were superb, but they were being let down by a poor chasing game.
Lamb with the kick. Well read by Devine to get there on the angle. He beats Lamb beautifully, but then taken by Smith. Simons has made a couple of good busts for West when the pressure was on. A quick play the ball. And more valuable meters. They all add up in this one. Langmack there early. Swinging arm over the top from Maguire.
As Jason Taylor waves them on, they just keep coming.
Britt. Last tackle. Devine in behind the line, as is Taylor. Lamb gets to Taylor. Jackson will have to kick. He puts up a midfield ball. McGrady underneath it. Farrer's there. It bounces out for Cogger. Cogger has support, but he can't get it away. What a break of the ball.
Sit down, Graeme.
The Magpies nearly got there. Still inside their 22, Canterbury. Red. 4-2 West over Canterbury. Brokenshire. He will play it as Canterbury get out of this hole. McGrady with a quick kick.
Got a lot of strings to his bow, hasn't he? He can kick right foot, he can kick left foot, and one of the things that he's started to do this year is he's got a great passing game now. Not only can he run into a hole himself, but he can put someone else into one.
Burns meets a dead end in the shape of Brokenshire and Lamb. Britt quickly on the inside for Farah. Lamb claiming that he was kicked in the tackle, trying to milk a penalty. Gillespie. Now somebody's called over for a high tackle. Maguire walks over to speak to Harrigan. He's told to put them down. Definitely swinging arm high over the top on Gillespie.
And he's already on report.
Farah sending it down to the 22. Tackle from Maguire, swinging high.
I didn't think there was a lot in it.
Farah trying hard for Western Suburbs. Gillespie with another run. Still waiting for somebody to really gain the advantage. Taylor to Langmack. The football lives of 91 depend on it. Britt. 4 Canterbury tacklers involved. Quick play the ball now. Thomas out of dummy half looking for support. Last tackle. Taylor sending it wide. Linton looking to get extra wide. Out to Burns, kicks ahead to the in goal. Through the legs of Folks. McGrady luckily was right behind him. A little bit of tunnel ball straight back to McGrady.
I think the ball finished up with the right man. I don't know if Steve Folks knew that he was there, but Folks went for the ball, went through his legs. McGrady picked it up, and he got that little bit of extra yardage.
Planned move. Brokenshire with a strong run for his side. 8-6 the missed tackles.
Yeah, they're pretty low missed tackle counts, so you can see the intensity of their match and the importance that the players are placing on it.
Lamb looking for the sideline, he will get it. They did need a bit of a break. West was certainly building. $17,000 here and 22 at the stadium. Witnessing here too out west of Sydney as we have 6 teams still left in the cup. We will soon have 5. Another penalty to the Magpies. Some of the Canterbury back rowers reminded about staying in the scrum until the ball comes free. Farah back out towards halfway. Thomas to Taylor. To Cogger.
The big plays for West normally come on tackles 3 and 4, and they tend to use switches of play and players up the centre of the ruck.
Got it wide on only 2 tackles to send it to the other side of the field. Do they come back? They do to Gillespie. He spins it out for Taylor. Out of dummy half, Jackson. Now, on a blind side, Taylor beautifully to win. Millie broke the tackle. He was grabbed around the ankles by Davis. Now the midfield bomb. Folks under it. Cogger is there. Off Folks, 6 more. Langmack gets it to Simons. An extra 6. The bonus. Is there a reward on the end of this one for West? Thomas spinning, looking for support. Canterbury on their line. It opens up Gillespie. As big as the heads. He was celebrating. Then he remembered, I better put this down. Right under the black spot. On the MMI replay, right under the black spot goes Gillespie. There was no one home. Right up the middle.
West got a bonus here with a couple of extra tackles after Canterbury erred, and David Gillespie pulled the left foot step out of the locker, something he hasn't used for a long time, and boy isn't he pleased about it.
And if the Canterbury markers were going to be marked out of 10 for this, they get 0 because they didn't work at all. And Gillespie took full toll of that, and isn't he happy? The ex-Bulldog, he's smiling right through until the finish.
So important where he scored this one too, the 27-year-old marketing rep. Right in front for Jason Taylor. This will be a big break in a sudden death game. 10 minutes into the second half. Taylor ramming home an advantage. The Magpies stretch it nicely. 10-2 over Canterbury. The Magpies by 8 at the stadium at Parramatta. MMI big game. The Bulldogs behind. They were behind on Sunday by 16. Still 30 remaining.
And a change in the Canterbury lineup. Troy Castle is on for Mark Brokenshire.
Castle in to make his first tackle in 23. Rampling plays it back. Winner's the man that has left the paddock. Jackson steps Lamb. Is it a case of one team just gets stronger? Or does the other come back? The ball coming out for Patmore. Beats the tackle of Rampling. That is a critical pass. Unbelievable that he tried to get that one away. The ball was knocked on now. Played at illegally in the play of the ball. It is errors like this that will cost you big games. Canterbury put themselves under pressure. McGrady looking as though it is a line ball, whether he played out legally or not.
As the pressure starts to tell on everyone.
The ball has to be planted on the ground before you can do it. It looked as though it might have been all right. But Canterbury threw the bad ball to give Taylor another chance at it.
They put themselves in a position they shouldn't have been in, handing West the football.
Now, did the ball get played properly? And did McGrady do it within the rules? Chris Anderson would have no fingernails left after last Sunday, so he's decided to stay with the gum. He has been that all season long for Western Suburbs, this young man. And from 30 metres out, trying to stay with the 100% record. One of the best in the business, shows why. The Magpies with the roll here at the moment. It is 12-2. Drove it low and hard. Never wavered off the middle. Still celebrating on the sidelines, the Magpies. Taylor slipping under the tackle of Geordie Peets. Gillespie, the vital try scorer.
And as so often happens, it came out of nothing, just a mistake, and then they capitalised on it. You can have all of the planned moves and all the patterns in the world, but some tries come just out of nowhere.
Rampling. West building with confidence. Farah under pressure. Taylor under pressure. Great chasing from Canterbury, but they'll have to chase for one more. Farah gets there quickly this time. McGrady.
He can't wait any longer. He's got to press the go button now.
Kevin Moore.
And that's not to say that he hasn't been playing well, because he has. He's just got to do more.
Run around with Doolan. Castle. Takes it to the line, but he is one out. Lamb to Davis. Nice tackle from Jason Taylor down low. Darren Smith. Good defence from Thomas, who stole it. Thomas won't argue with the decision.
You get away with what you can.
He tried hard here to get away with this one. This will give Canterbury some position and good possession.
It was about now they started their run on Sunday.
They will need to revisit that one quickly. Kevin Moore put down by Gillespie. 15 gone in the second half. Maguire to the line. Folks crisscrossing from the ruck. Taken by Langmack, finished off by Rampling. Lamb inside for Castle. It's been an engrossing playoff. Canterbury had a number of chances in the first half. Moore. Davis. McGrady outside him. McGrady to Reardon. Reardon gets it back to Gillies. Picks it up the ball well forward, or went forward from the pass. Gillies remains down injured. Now back to his feet.
The Bulldogs overplayed it a bit here. They had tackles up their sleeve, but decided to try and keep the ball alive. And while the pass might have been on some occasions, I think in a game as important as this, you take the play the ball and have another shot at them on the next one.
Devine back. 5-2 the Magpies have the scrums. Britt. Canterbury will be looking to put pressure still on the kicking game from West. Try and keep them down here. But Taylor has too much time. Patmore. Straightening. Moore ducking, weaving through a couple of tackles. Still going, just short of halfway. 12-2, West over Canterbury. Peets. Moore again.
I think Canterbury need to introduce some variety, Graeme. In the first half, they put a couple of kicks over the top, which turned the Western Suburbs defence around. I think that's what they may have to look at.
Castle. Canterbury concerned about the scoreline and the time on the clock. There is still a mile left. But it never feels that way. It's such a dramatic encounter when you're behind. McGrady kicking it back. What they call a banana kick. He seemed to mean that one. Devine chased by folks and put down 8 out from his own line. Burns taken by Lamb and Gillies. Rampling. Ball looked to be forward to Jackson. So many players put so much pressure on the dummy half these days. Good kick from Farron, no one home here, right down to the pocket.
They've got to start to try and link some of these up. The Western Suburbs chase around the ball now is quite good, but it's off the ball where they've got to look to attack.
Smith.
This Western Suburbs defence out wide in the second half is much improved. We're moving up very quickly and stifling any attack at all, any opportunities out wide.
Right to his feet. Lamb. To Smith. To Patmore. Patmore gets away. The ball was touched. McGrady. McGrady chased by Thomas. McGrady putting the foot down. What a try. This man is unbelievable. That ball was nearly knocked down. Then Patmore had enough room. He saw McGrady unmarked. Thomas tried to get there. He accelerated. He saw them coming from left and right. He reminds you of the Roadrunner.
Canterbury had to do something, and once again they tried their arm out wide. Terry Lamb headed across field. He made the overlap, created the numbers, back onto Smith, onto Patmore. I thought he might have been pulled down there, but he shrugged off a tackle and then got it inside to McGrady. Now, the amazing thing about this is he was never really in full stride. He pulled out of one tackle, then he shifted up a gear. He has just got blistering speed.
Davis from right in front. The sudden death is back online. With a touch of brilliance from McGrady, the Bulldogs are back at 12-8 to West, though. Only 4 points in it, midway through the second half of the playoff for the semi-finals. Hope you're enjoying this MMI big game wherever you're watching, as both sides try to stay alive. Reminding you about the winner from this one. They will continue on Saturday. They will line up against the defending champs, the Canberra Raiders, 6:30 to 8:30 right here on 10 Sport. Whether it'll be the Magpies or the Bulldogs, then the major prelim, Manly and Norths on Sunday. Reminder about those times, 6:30, 8:30. You will see both matches in full.
A football feast.
The entree is rather large here.
In Canberra, we don't know who's coming to get you, but someone is.
Folks.
And you're ready, we know that.
They're on their hands and knees praying for extra time. McGrady. Off the knees of Devine, Canterbury onside now. He did well to keep his cool. He played at the ball. Simons. Cogger. Thomas gets it to Rampling. Already you start to think about that great rescue act of Thomas's in the first half to save a try.
There's so many little things turn a football game, and that sort of thing he did is the sort of thing that's going to get a team through to a semi-final or even a grand final.
Canterbury try to take on the referee. Harrigan gets the Bulldogs for stealing the ball. Lamb was going high and stole it. A number of times both captains have really tested the man in control. Taylor with the most important kick. Let's remember that the Magpies have only an advantage of 4 points. This goal to mean the Bulldogs can only level up. Then it's field goals, if they can do that. Or extra time, as we keep reminding you, 10 each way if that's the case, at the end of 80 minutes.
And then if it's still level, we'll come back Thursday.
One of the best competitors in rugby league anywhere in the world, Lamb, still driving this side, wanting to go one more match at least in the Winfield Cup of 91.
You know what he said when he was suspended?
When I get back, I'll get you there.
You stay online and I'll get you to the semi-finals when I get back.
Got 17 minutes to do it. Taylor, the concentration, thinking about 2 points, thinking about a date with Canberra. Around he comes, sensational. Nothing short of sensational. 14-8, West over Canterbury. I had my eyes on the touch judges. They never had to move. The look of a schoolboy who has very quickly become a man in this game of rugby league.
And the message is clear, don't give away penalties in your own half.
That can be said about so many teams, especially Sunday with Halligan and Ridge. Darren Brett. The fans of both clubs would really have to bow to the players in these clubs. So much work that they've put into this match already. Hard to fault anybody. Look out. McGrady calling for support. Kevin Moore. Pat Moore comes off a wing. Folks, member of every grand final that Canterbury Bankstown played through the 80s. Folks, I thought he was going to get back on the inside of that pass from Lamb, but it was Pat Moore. The Bulldogs with some mistakes.
And now you're talking field goal.
6 more tackles for the Wests. They will head it towards the posts. Taylor's the key man. Will he go on an early tackle? Will he wait to try and get closer? 14-8. He's in behind the play the ball as Britt takes his turn to get a little bit closer to the sticks. He's already got 5 field goals in 91. He is nice and deep behind the ball again.
He's in perfect position.
Is there cover for him? He makes space. Jason Taylor. What a great field goal. He grabs a half a dozen this season, and he does it so beautifully for Western Suburbs to get it 15-8. Now Canterbury are arguing that they touched the ball. Harrigan has called Lamb back. He's demanding that he comes back to talk to him. Was there a hand on it? It is hard to tell from any replay in off the uprights. But it counts. Canterbury will have to do it again with more than a converted try. 14 minutes remaining. Farrell. He gets through. Great run from Farrell. That field goal might have been the telling story. Langmack. Langmack tried to get it away. It's play on. Well, if he told him to play it...
I thought he released it. I thought he tried to keep play going.
If he did call him to play it, maybe it should have been a penalty. Harrigan allows the difference. He looked as though he tried to release it out the back. Kevin Moore. 13 minutes. Is that the life expectancy in 91 of Canterbury Bankstown? 15-8 West. Lamb to Darren Smith. Hurdling players. Back to Lamb. Oh, they tread on the line. He couldn't keep his balance. Just not enough space.
On the line's out, and this was enough. Terry Lamb, just have a look at the foot. There it was, and the touch judge adjudicates.
A blade of grass in a chance of a try.
Scott Tronks on for Steve Folks, Graeme.
Simons. To win. The escape of the year was Sunday for Canterbury. This time, they look like they won't find the key out.
What they need is mistakes here from West. But West are masters at this sort of football, where they just keep grinding away, hammering the ball at you and not making errors. Canterbury are going to have to tackle mistakes into them.
It was Warren Ryan who took Balmain in 88 and 90 to play off victories. Third time up to bat, he's headed for another one. Langmack told to play it 10 metres in from the sideline.
He'd prefer to play it more towards the centre.
He was trying, but Harrigan called him back. Taylor chipping in behind the defence. Cogger's onside. Darren Smith. Harrigan says he's not. Fogger believed he was. Confidently went for the ball. Peets to Patmore. They had the advantage out wide in the first half, Canterbury. That hasn't been the story for them in the second. Maguire. Johnson.
They've got to try things now, the Bulldogs, whether that's their kicking game or whether it's players throwing passes they wouldn't normally throw. But you've got to go out with a bang and not a whimper. They've really got to chance their arm now.
I say Johnson, I should say Scott Drunk. Again, looking to keep it alive. West slows it. Canterbury have it with 6 more.
That's a lucky break for them, and now they've got to try and capitalise.
10 minutes remain. Red. Trump can unload a ball, needs support. Kevin Moore got there with him. McGrady quickly to Maguire. Maguire gets it out to Darren Smith. Lamb to Davis. Upended. Castle. Knocked down by Langmack. Canterbury will have 6 more. They will have the scrum feed. Langmack did well to recover it. Chris Anderson saying to his coaching staff they need to score here. Sending messages down to the sideline.
It's desperate stuff as the clock winds down, and I think we've got a lot of football left in this 9 minutes.
Dummy runners everywhere. McGrady to the open. McGrady to Darren Smith. He gets it out to Doolan. Doolan, the corner, they get it. Sensational stuff everywhere. Both these sides laying on an amazing encounter. You call it, Bill. We do go down to the wire in the playoff. There's going to be time on the MMI replay. What a beautiful move. Perfect execution of setting up the extra man, and Doolan does well to finish. Taylor got across there so quickly, but couldn't stop him.
Canterbury rise to the challenge here with a slashing try. Have a look at the lead-up, a well-rehearsed play, more across the field. On to McGrady, there's his passing game on to Smith. He popped up a pass as he was caught in a tackle, and Doolan, a superb winger's effort to cross in the corner.
Doolan came across from St George and has enjoyed a big year with the Bulldogs. Jonathan Davis from the sideline. The goal kicking has been extraordinary. This is to put the playoff within just 1 point. Plenty of distance. What a game! What a game! They will not lie down. West by 1, 15-14. You talk about big-time players. When the heat is on, they produce. The chant goes up around this Parramatta Stadium for the comeback Kings and for Western Suburbs. All the supporters on their feet.
And an important change for Canterbury too, Graeme. Geordie Peets is off and Sean Skelton, the youngster, is on.
Skelton out there. Now Red, who makes the mistakes inside the last 6 and 7 minutes. What a season of rugby league. We'll have a winner tonight, I think. Maybe extra time even.
It just gets better, and it's going to get better still as we go to the Sydney Football Stadium.
For the last couple of months of Winfield Cup football, Bill, we keep on saying, surely it can't be right.
What a climax this is.
What a grand final it would be. Down to the in goal. West will be trapped deep. Devine. Nobody with him. Now Simons is there. West getting back to their line. 6 to go.
And they're tied.
Taylor. The Bulldogs sweating on a mistake. Maybe they might find that key that they did against Cronulla on Sunday.
And the big question is, if they get the ball back, and they're going to, and they get in attacking position, and they're going to do that too, do they look for the 1 point?
You're a coach, you tell me.
On the last tackle.
Here's the last for Wes. Taylor gets the kick in. McGrady to Doolin. 5 minutes only. Patmore. Canterbury have to get it down the other end. Skelton looks for a runner. Gillies is there. Can they find a hole? Wes, can they hang on? There's the mistake. Wes have it, and with it, valuable time. Penalty. Taylor will go for goal, maybe. Will he put it dead from here? The question is asked.
I wouldn't kick for goal. Now, they've got the penalty here. Tronk's ducked around the side and tackled Rampling. I wouldn't kick for goal. I'd put the ball out and play out the 6 tackles.
That's where they're going. 4 minutes. 4 minutes and but 1 point. The Magpies come down to 12 metres away, leading by 1 point, and about 3.5 minutes on the clock. They have to control it. Cogger, taken by Tron.
That's what they'll try and do, control the ball for 5 tackles and then put it in goal on the last to get the ball back.
Brett, he loses it. Now he hangs on. Graham win up the middle. Not the success that Gillespie found. The Magpies just where they want to finish this game. Langmack gets it. The try that will wrap it up. Taylor to the in goal. There it is. Great thinking. Simons gets the try. That's all there is. And Western Suburbs will go ahead to beat Canberra on Saturday. What a great second half from Jason Taylor. On the MMI replay, Simons was in behind the backs and he beat everybody.
They set it up well, the Magpies. They took the ball from one side of the field to the other, then put the kick through in behind the defensive line. They had nothing to lose. They were either going to get the ball back or the try.
Simons, a couple of big plays from him in the first half as well. And now to put it beyond doubt, this remarkable playoff that had everybody standing and applauding. They're still doing it for the Magpies. Taylor from out on the sideline. Taylor being the difference tonight. 2 tries apiece. Inside the last 2 minutes. This kick to put it beyond reach. It seems that way already. No! It hits the post. But is there time?
The Bulldogs have got to get the ball back. 19 points to 14. They've got to vary their kick-off. They'll look for a short one to get possession.
Jonathan Davis with the kick-off. Does he go short? Does he chip it?
Must chip it. It's no good giving West the ball.
He looks out to his forwards to the left. He tries to wade it into the air. Can they get under it? They climb. West have it. And with it, the match probably. We said it was going to be close. Maybe we didn't know it was going to be quite the brilliant game of rugby league that it has been. 60 seconds only. Gillies tries to get wind of his feet. Harrigan stops the clock. Back they go towards the sideline. 30 seconds only. Possession is so vital. Last tackle, Canterbury with the miracle. Somebody will have to go the length of the field. Is that somebody this man? He's not going anywhere as West plant him on his own 22. They have to spread it. It is no good there. 15 only on our clock. Trump to the other side for Doolan. Doolan through. Doolan taken by Devine. He was the last man. Does there, or do they have time to get up? West hanging on as Canterbury look for the winning try. Smith, 6 more, but they won't have time for 6 more, surely. Skelton, he's got to get rid of it. So Smith, so is Moore. It's all over. It's all over. Canterbury found the gap, but Harrigan stopped play. The ball was travelling wide, but the world states that was it. The Magpies are home for a semi-final on Saturday in one of the most thrilling playoffs I can ever remember. Gillespie and Simons, the try scorers for West. Taylor the difference. 5 goals and a field goal. McGrady and Doolan for Canterbury. Davis with 3. 19-14 in a match that could hardly disappoint anybody, especially the fans of 2 great clubs tonight. They're still cheering here at the stadium. The weary Warriors. For one, the end of the season. For the other, a chance to put paid to the defence of a premiership from the Green Machine from the nation's capital.